Cyberpunk, a video game hyped up to oblivion which no game could live up to. If you haven't had your head stuck in the ground, you know that the game really messed up, and I mean really messed up. Full of glitches and what was maybe quite underwhelming gameplay that did not live up to anything close that CD Projekt Red had produced previously.
Please, accept my apologies for the confusion.
Netflix had decided to release an anime based on this very game. Before even watching it, many people were very skeptical about it. I mean, there have been very few anime adapting video games from companies outside of Japan, and the very few have not really been that successful. Last year we have seen the likes of Arcane showing how it is possible to create a TV show based on a video game and pull it off. However, it remains to be seen just what heights can be reached with this in anime. So, the question of this video: was Cyberpunk Edgerunners any good? Studio Trigger was behind this anime, and just to give you some background, Studio Trigger created anime such as Kill la Kill, but also was a studio created by ex-employees from Gainax, who created such anime as Gurren Lagann. In fact, we have a star-studded lineup of staff that are behind Cyberpunk Edgerunners, with not only their experience, but the series and movies they've had a hand in creating are up there with the best. They know how to make anime. Now, the whole reason why I bring up Studio Trigger is the distinctive animation style that they bring. Outrageous styles, something that can be seen throughout their past works. The outlandish fight scenes that are in their previous series shine brightly through in Cyberpunk. Fun fact, the director Hiroyuki Yamashi and the character designer Yo Yoshinari both worked together on Gurren Lagann, and this was the first time since then. We have to appreciate the animation that was created in this series. It is vibrant, it is distinctive, it is Trigger. This is some of the best animation that 2022 has to offer. Speaking of animation, what I noticed is that some of the scenes felt reminiscent of Redline, the movie produced by Madhouse that is all hand animated and took over 7 years to make. This feeling was especially felt in scenes involving vehicles and driving. It turns out both the director Yamashi and key animator Tsushio both had a hand in key animation with Redline. What I'm trying to get at is that the talent behind the creation of Cyberpunk Edgerunners is tremendous and should not be understated. Even composer Akira Yamaoka composed for the Silent Hill game series. What really stands out and wows you is the setting, the background, the world building. I haven't played a load of hours of the game, but straight away I could recognise Night City. The transition from game to anime was flawless. Combine this with a soundtrack that is a mix of music from the game, songs from various artists and original music for the anime, and this creates a feel of Night City. The opening is a banger and is done by Franz Ferdinand.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time.
A band I remember from my childhood, and it was nostalgic to hear this. Such a unique choice outlining just how one of a kind this anime is. What amazed me is Masahiko Otsuka, the co-director, stated that the production of the anime started before the game was even finished. Was the game even finished when it was released? So they were provided with a basic concept of a world building. With this context, what they have done was amazing. To the buildings, the atmosphere, the nightlife, the character designs, all this adds to the world building, and with this series only being 10 episodes, they really excelled. The actual story of the anime is great. We follow David in his strive to live his own dream, rather than follow the footpath of what he was told to do. David is given a chance to fulfill his desire in becoming an edge runner, after having practically lost everything. He has a chance to show he is special, to prove the world just how determined he is to succeed. He found this opportunity in a game with an array of unique characters, each one having their own style and characteristics to them. For example, we have the Big Boss Main. Whilst Pax the Muscle has a soft spot for David and takes him under his wing. You have Rebecca, the lolly, but is also trigger happy.
Fucking cyber psycho trash!
Then you have Lucy, the edgy main girl, who has a romantic relationship with David. Both her and the relationship are much more complex than meets the eye. The relationship is much more mature than most anime. It does not spend its time on will they, won't they, but forms perhaps a relationship that can be seen as a shining light in this futuristic dystopian world. The relationship amongst David and his group evolves as the story progresses. David, perhaps a bit naive at first in terms of the world that Night City lives in, makes him a newbie, not exactly sure what the job of a group entails. As we watch episode by episode, we see the group become more like family, and David finding and adapting to how brutal the job and the world it is involved in truly is. This leads me on to my next point, is that this series is much more serious than a lot of anime. And the main reason for this, as mentioned in the interview with Otsuka, is that it is because it's being released on Netflix that gives Studio Trigger the license they would not have otherwise if it had aired on TV. Trigger wanted to match the seriousness with the video game, in both the tone and the gore. Honestly, the gore in this anime is up there with the likes of Hellsing Ultimate, and like Cyberpunk, Hellsing Ultimate was not aired on TV. It is quite interesting to think about how aired on TV anime is limited in some aspects. And now we are seeing more and more anime released outside of television, we may see more studios being released of their constraints. I want to also give a quick mention to the dub. As someone who mainly watches the original Japanese voice cast, I gave the dub a chance. Whilst it was originally to hear the one and only Gus Fring in the series,
Look at me, Hector. Look at me.
I also felt like watching it in dub was in line to the video game, and the cast was great. Nothing felt too cheesy, they seemed to handpick the cast suiting each character. So if you are on the fence regarding watching it in dub or not, let this decide it for you. Try the dub first. A fault with this anime is that it was too short. The pace of this show is fast, with the series only being 10 episodes. I felt some of the world building was left quite ambiguous, and the explanation of words such as cyberpunk were almost expected for you to know prior to watching, which playing the game may have helped with. However, this is something small, as the show does not really linger on this. I think it could have been better if it was longer. A lot of Studio Trigger's major successful shows were around the 24 episode mark, which Cyberpunk could have benefited from. The show itself may have been restricted to 10 episodes to perhaps being used to promote the game further, but this is just speculation from me. It is good criticism to have, if a bad thing about the show is that there are not enough episodes. If you didn't know, I thought the anime was fantastic. The anime is so good that it gave life to the game again. People are buying it, people are streaming it again. The anime really did its job on that front. Heck, I even want to go back and play it. I can see it paving ways for the video game only viewers to watch more anime, as well as the anime only watchers to play Cyberpunk. This is another successful anime that Netflix has released on its platform. And whilst they do not always deliver on hits, I hope they give more opportunities to create such unique anime. That is all from me on this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the series, and perhaps the future for Netflix anime in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.